Hello everyone. This musical instrument of pianoforte evolved from the harpsichord during the Baroque period, where the player finally had gained the ability to control the dynamics of each note they play. Over time, piano has increasingly gained popularity in the public due to its versatile performing abilities and beautiful timbre, and undoubtedly, the contributions of piano composers throughout history should not be ignored, especially in the Romantic era, where music is, quote, heightened to painting and poetry, no longer merely hearing expression of feelings. The piano music underwent a dramatic popularizing period in Europe, further influenced Impressionist, jazz, and even contemporary music. In short, piano music, evolving from Baroque era till today, had become more complicated and versatile over time. Here, we will primarily focus on three Romantic composers: Beethoven, Chopin, and Liszt. So Beethoven is arguably the key figure in the transition from classical to Romantic period. The two composers that had influenced Beethoven the most on music styles and techniques are Mozart and Haydn, classical era composers. But Beethoven was not afraid to revolutionize the music everyone was accustomed to at that time. Beethoven himself is a piano virtuoso, and some of his famous works are the 32 solo piano sonatas, just like complete symphonies, but written to be played on one single piano. Examining the evolution of Beethoven's style is more evident and simpler. In the beginning, all his works are manifested in the sonata allegro form, and speaking of playing techniques, they're not significantly different from those of Mozart's. However, he experimented orchestra effects on the piano that has a richer sound effect, which differentiates his music from his predecessors. Then, Beethoven really started to experiment with his music, and his sonatas, including Moonlight, Waldstein, and Appassionata, are crucial in the transition into the Romantic era. In his Moonlight Sonata, he started the first movement in adagio tempo, then allegretto, finally presto, which is very atypical compared to prior sonatas. But such a structure is more and more commonly seen in future compositions by other composers. Not just becoming romantic, Beethoven's music had become increasingly heroic as well. Next up is Chopin. Although dying at the age of 38, Frédéric Chopin is considered one of the most prolific and notable piano composers in history. As a musician who dedicated all his life to merely one instrument, some of his piano music's most identifiable features are rubato tempo, ornamentations, use of pedal, and chromatic melody. Chopin was born in Poland and later moved to and lived in Paris. Never being able to return to his homeland, his music has a strong sense of Polish nationalism manifested in pieces such as Polonaise and the Revolutionary Etude. Though having a pretty different composing style from Beethoven, Chopin also struggled with health issues and possessed a reluctance toward his beloved country's occupation by Russia. And thus, I somewhat can see a connection between the two's music emotionally. Chopin, for most of his life, worked as a piano tutor and did not perform publicly on a frequent basis, unlike Liszt. Chopin has written numerous piano etudes that are known for difficulty. However, unlike traditional etudes, his pieces usually contain delicate and beautiful melodies, making them joyful to play and even perform on concerts. Franz Liszt is perhaps the most influential figure to piano music throughout the history. His music is best known for difficulties such as huge jumps, constant octaves, extremely fast yet elegant cadenzas, and etc. He is also a programmatic composer, a major branch in the Romantic era, as he has strong affection toward nature, A lot of his works, including etudes and symphonic poems, centered on scenes such as the weather, social setting, and architecture. A close friend of Chopin, Liszt admired Chopin's works very much, and his music is in many ways influenced by Chopin. An anecdote is that, on the other hand, Chopin once remarked in his letter that Liszt, as a creative artist, appears before my eyes as roughed on stilts and blowing the trumpets of Jericho, pianissimo and fortissimo. As a creator, he is an ass. End of quote. Nationalism is also manifested through Liszt's 19 Hungarian Rhapsodies. They usually contain several different themes, start solemnly and slowly, and progresses till a vivid ending. This might represent the struggle of his country. During the Romantic era / Industrial Revolution, where Liszt lived in, technological advancements and economic growth gave rise to the popularity of piano playing in the general public, as sheet music and the piano instrument were more available than ever to middle-class families. As a celebrity of that time who travels frequently to perform, Liszt certainly catalyzed that process. Conclusion. Romantic era is undoubtedly one of the most crucial periods in the development of piano music. And from Beethoven, Chopin, and Liszt's contributions, we see playing techniques evolving from a simple melody plus accompaniment of scales and repeated arpeggios to jumps, octaves, rubato, cadenzas, etc. The versatility of piano has also expanded so much that it has gained effects of an orchestra, a literary work, and even nature. The three composers also expressed their nationalism through piano composition. Last but not least, they have an influence on later musicians even till today. Debussy is seen as another pinnacle of programmatic music composing by piano. Though I'm not sure if Romantic music had any influence on jazz, piano became popular since the late 19th century in the US as well, with composers like Scott Joplin and George Gershwin as some of the brightest stars in piano. Nowadays, a lot of piano techniques in contemporary pieces can be traced back to the Romantic era as well. Also, Beethoven's sonatas are frequently found in movies, along with Chopin's nocturnes during emotional and love scenes. A very famous Tom and Jerry episode, Cat Concerto, features Liszt's Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2 performance, and it fits the vibe of the cartoon extremely well. So yes, Beethoven, Chopin, and Liszt contributed to the development of piano music in their unique ways.